sharing my screen with you. Okay. Yes, yes. Yeah. Just a minute. Why it is not working? Yeah, yeah. Means that will stop the your audio control. Yes, you're gonna. Yes, yes. Yeah. There is some stuck in the fitness. No, I think. Are you able to see my screen now? Hope you are able to see my screen. In case you're not able to see, it, please let me know. You can give your indications by yes or no from your chat box. So we are going to start our class with your introduction. Introduction to base SAS. So before going for the SAS, what is SAS and all, I think you might be familiar with what is SAS and under which category SAS come. Here I given around 5 categories. In these 5 categories you have to recognize which categories SAS belongs to. The first category is language. This indicates a language which is used to develop a software like C, C++, Java or other different language which you can use for developing a software. Package like your MS Office, Tally for working like this type is like a type of software for working on a specific project or a specific purpose and all. Then your database are your type of tools which you use for storing your data in a tabular form. Next, come to your data warehouse. Data warehouse is a tool which is used for two purposes. One is your reporting, other is your ETL. I given the more explanation about the data warehouse in the next slide. Yes, data warehousing is a tool which is used for two purposes. One is reporting, other is ETL. ETL stands for extractions, transformation and loading. Under the reporting part, we have the two softwares that come under reporting of data warehousing, that is called Cognos and Hyperion. These are the two different tools which are used for the reporting purpose. Under ETL, it is Informatica, which is used for your extractions, transformations and loading purpose. Extraction, transformations and loading means you are extracting a data from one source, transforming it and loading to a different source. The fifth category is here I given is web applications like your HTML, XML and .NET. These are the different web applications which are used for your developing some web page or in web applications. The SAS comes under a data warehousing categories. SAS can perform both the tasks that data warehouses do, that is, it is used for reportings as well as ETL purpose. So if someone asks you what is SAS, you can just give the definitions like SAS is a data warehousing tools which is used to perform reporting and ETL services. Now I given a more description about the SAS. SAS is a data warehousing tool which is a combination of high level language, reporting tool, ETL tool and a statistical analysis tool. SAS is also known as high level language tool because all the code that we are writing in the SAS is a simple English language. There's no keywords are involved which are difficult to understand. All the keywords and all the reserved keywords which we are going to use here are very simple English keywords, simple English words. Reporting tools, because you can develop any type of reports with the help of SAS, so it is also known as reporting tool. It is also called as ETL tool, which indicates it will be used to extract, transform and load the data from one source to another source. SAS, the major task of SAS is used to perform the statistical analysis. The statistical analysis include your performing the statistical test like your ANOVA, that is analysis of variance, regressions, correlation, then chi-square test, t-test, all the different tests that is there in the statistics you can perform with the help of SAS. You have to just write 2-3 lines of code to perform all these tests. SAS is a platform independent software because all the code that you are writing in the SAS on a Windows platforms, same code will also be used in the Linux platforms or your mainframe platforms or any other platforms. Same code going to be used. Before going for the in-depth of your SAS, just we go little bit history about the SAS. Who has developed the SAS and when? SAS was developed by the Anthony J. Barr in the North Carolina University. Anthony J. Barr was a student of statistics and he was doing his graduation. At that time, to complete his projects, he has to do lot of statistical tests for his project to be completed. he was feeling very difficulty while performing the test, because at that time there was no software tools available which he can use for the performing the test. At that time he has developed the SAS softwares. The SAS software was developed using the C language. SAS was developed in the year 1960 to 1970. In the year 1976, SAS was launched as a commercial product, and they started selling this product to different companies for their project works and all. In the beginning of the years, SAS was used in the agriculture field to perform your forecasting and the planning purpose. Later on, with the advantage of SAS, it is used in other sectors as well. Now we are going to learn here a analytics tool. Now what is analytics? Analytics involves a computer's programming, knowledge of statistics, business logics or business knowledge, and must be good in the reasoning and the analysis of data. Which sectors require the analytics? The sectors which require the analytics are financial services, retail, FMCG, pharmaceuticals, travel, e-commerce. Almost you can see here all sectors they are going to use the analytics, and to perform all these analytics they are going to use the SAS. Now the questions comes in terms of your careers perspective. We are learning the SAS for completing our job in the working scenarios, or completing our projects, or going for a job change and all. So the questions are, which companies are looking for the SAS persons, SAS skilled persons or SAS professionals? I list out some of the companies name which are hiring the SAS professionals. You can list here. These are the global companies. Then some of the Indian companies name also I given here. There's many more companies also there. Now SAS is divided. We have started the SAS course now here. Now SAS is divided into 4 phases. The whole SAS programming that you're going to learn it here will be have to go with these 4 phases. The first phase is your extraction. That is, you're going to extract the data from one source to SAS format for your task to be completed. So the extraction phase involves extracting the data from any source. The source can be your Excel, the source can be your raw data files, or any database. I have a PDF files which includes your different phases of SAS, and I given some more description about this different phase of SAS. So here you can see I given a flow diagrams for this process flow diagrams how the SAS work. The SAS case, the first part is your extractions. That is, you're going to extract the data from different source into the SAS format. SAS does not store the data, but it will convert the data into a SAS format called SAS data set. The data set keywords we're going to discuss just after this phase. So extraction phase part is nothing but you extract the data from different source. Next come to your manipulation. I just give the audio control. In case you have any questions you can ask me in between that also. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Okay. Next come to your manipulation. Manipulations involves your finding a new values or preparing your data for your analysis. Like suppose we have a salary, on the basis of salary we can find the bonus. On the basis of date of birth you can find the age. So deriving a new values on the basis of given values comes to your manipulations. And Under analysis, you can perform a different statistical test here. So here we are going to write some procedures to perform the analysis. Analysis involves the chi-square test, regressions, correlations, ANOVA, all the different tests you can go it for the analysis. After this analysis, you can generate the reports. You can generate any type of reports with the help of SAS. For the reporting purpose, we require the statisticians. So in the one projects, there will be 1, 2, 3 persons they take as a statisticians to understand the results that we are receiving from the SAS and to interpret the results. Reports you can generate in the form of HTMLs in case the report you want to publish on the web page. You can generate the reports in the PDF, that is portable document format, or you can generate the reports in the RTF, that is rich text format. Sometimes we can need the data to be in the Excel also, so you can export your data, the reported data into the Excel as well. For all these phases, I given a small explanations for all the phases. You can go with these phases later on. So I will send these files at the end of the class. Okay. Next, come to the we are going to start with session 1. I'm just preparing you so you can understand the code that I'm going to write. So before writing any programs, just giving you the your backend of your SAS, how the SAS work and what the different part of SAS and all. As we are learning, we are going to learn a new software tools. So we have to understand the terminologies which are used in the software. So you can see at the bottom of the PPT page, I am giving here a general terminologies and the SAS terminologies. In the general terminologies, table is known as data set. So whenever we seeing some tables, we say this as a data set, will not call this as a table. Rows are known as observation, column are known as variables. On the top of this same page, you can see I given here one data sets with 3 columns and around 5 rows. So 3 columns indicates a 3 variables and 5 rows indicates your 5 observation. The first row we not consider as a observations because first row is taken as your variables name. And just a minute, Vijay. Hello. No. Actually, I'm taking one online class. Okay, you can come. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the first row will not be taken as your variables. Your observations will be taken as your variables name or column heading. Yeah, next come to the different component of a SAS. The whole SAS program that we're going to write is divided into 2 major components. These components are known as data step and then proc step. Data step is used to create a SAS data set or to modify SAS data set. It is used to perform some sort of calculations on the data values. Data step will start with a keyword called data. The second major component is a proc step. It is used to perform the procedure. Proc is a short form of a procedure. It is used to perform a specific task on the data set, like you can performing the printing of your results or sorting of your data or formatting your data includes your procedure step. Now before going for your actual programs, there is certain rules that we have to follow. These rules include a given here. The first rule is your called naming rule for data set, variables and libraries. Data set is nothing but your tables, variables are nothing but your columns name. Libraries I will going to explain just after one or two slides. First rule is your a valid SAS names can have alphabet, number and underscore. Alphabets like your capital A to capital Z, a small a to small z, and numbers will be like any digits 0 to 9, and so include a underscore. Now very important points in the naming rule is your it must start with either a letter or a underscore. A name should not start with any number. Okay, no special characters are allowed in the names. Okay, so like any special characters like your and symbol, a star, dollar, hash, even blanks are not allowed. Only one special character is allowed, that is your underscore in the names. Maximum number of characters you can give for a library is 8 character. For data set and variables it is 32 characters including your underscore. So here I given some names here, SAS names. Can you identify which are the valid name? Okay, starting with a second is starting with your digit. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fifth and sixth here same. So here the first and then last two are the okay only, rest all are not valid. Okay. Next come to your coding rule. Coding rule means the rules that you have to follow for writing the programs. Okay. Each SAS statement should end with a semicolon. The SAS code that you are going to write, each SAS statement will end with a semicolon in the last. Okay. SAS statements are not case sensitive. This means you can give the SAS codes in uppercase, lowercase, or a combination of upper and lower, can be any case, it's not matter. In one line multiple SAS statements can be written, means you can end the SAS statement with the semicolons, and the same lines you can start another SAS statement. A SAS statement can be split into a multiple lines. One SAS statement, suppose the line is very big, the code you going to write is very big code, you can split into 2-3 lines as well. It is not sensitive for the space, so it means you can give a single space or a multiple space, it's not matter, they will taken as a single space as a code. So as a rules, when you are going for a programming purpose, only these 5 rules and then previous 3 rules are important to just understand. There is no extra rules are there in the SAS. Now we are going to see how SAS work and how the SAS windows work. Yeah, Vijay, just give me a 2-3 minutes break. I just give a test paper to one of my students, then we will resume our class. Okay, just give me 2 minutes break. Okay. Today test paper is little bit tricky. Okay, so
Last week I prepared something. This week I not prepared. Yes, because last week I prepared something. Objective, na?
yeah, you might feel the difficulty level is more for the last class. Yeah, charger is not.
Base test is
Yeah, base test. This includes 50 questions and around 80 minutes.
50 minutes.
Okay. So this is
Not
not
6 hours.
yeah. Just call it
6, 10.
It is
Plus 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
10 plus 10. 6, 10.
Okay, 6 10 need water is there. No, just want something. Yeah, Vijay, we resume our classes. Hello. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes. So you can see here, I open this SAS software. When you open the SAS software, you're going to get this window. So just I give a brief introductions of these windows. Okay, then we start with our programs. When you start the SAS software, is going to receive three different windows. First one is editor, then log, and then output. For working on the SAS, we required all these three windows. So do not close any of these three windows while writing or working on the SAS. Once we finish the class, I'm going to give you for each topics I'm going to give some files to you. The Windows name, so everything will be there. Okay, so just try to understand this, then you can take the note and all. Okay, the first window is your editor window. The shortcut key to go to editor window is F5, and it is used to write the SAS program. So all the program that we are going to write will be written in the editor window. Next is your log window. It is used to see the actions taken by the SAS or to see the syntax error that in case we have in our programs. So once you submit the programs that is written in the editor window, you will get the response in the log window. Output window is used to see the results that are going to be generated by the SAS. So all the procedures we going to generate some reports will be displayed in this output window. Other than these three windows, we have two subsidiary window as well, that is called Explorer window and then Result window. Explorer windows is going to have a link for the system files like your My Computers, libraries, favorite folders. Explorer windows is going to have a hyperlink for all the results that you are generating during the one session. So just I am going to show you a one programs how to write a programs. The program is going to start with a keyword data for the data step. Data, then you have to give some data set name, the table name. I am giving a data table name as 1. Then semicolons, because this complete your one SAS statement. X equal to 10 semicolon, y equal to 20 semicolon, z equal to x plus y. Then run. So this completes one step, that is one data step, and it is used to create a data set here. We are creating one data set with the name of 1. To execute or to say run the programs, you have to select your code and then you can click on this submit button, or you can press F3 to submit your code to execute. Just pressing here F3. Okay. Now you can check the log window what's happened for this code. Now the log window is replicate the same code that you have written and going to give some note, that is what action SAS has taken for this code. So SAS is also known as self-documented software because of this log window, because each and every activity that you are doing in the SAS will be recorded in the log. Now you can see the read the first note. Data set work.1 has one observation and 3 variables. This indicates SAS is creating one data set with the name of work.1, which has one observations and 3 variables, 1 row and 3 column. In our code, we are not given the work.1, we are given here only 1. But here they are displaying your work.1. What is work? Work is nothing but a library. SAS follow two level naming systems. That is, it first refer a library name, then a decimal or can say period, then data set name. The libraries, what is library? Libraries is nothing but is going to stores the SAS files. SAS files such as your data set or a catalog. So SAS is a library is nothing but a place or a folder, I can say locations where all SAS files are stored. SAS files are your SAS data set. Now by default SAS give you 3 libraries which are different types. In the SAS we have the 2 type of library. First one is permanent library, second is your temporary library. Permanent means the files which are stored in it can be used in any sessions or any future purpose. So by default SAS will give you a library with the name of SAS user and with the name of SAS help. So in any version of SAS you are using, these 2 libraries will be always be there. You can create your own libraries as well, that comes under your user defined library. Second comes your temporary library. Temporary libraries are those libraries which includes the files or stores the files only for the one session. So whichever the SAS data set you are storing in the temporary library will be kept only for one session. Once you close the sessions, the file will be erased. Now by default SAS gives a temporary library with the name of work. Work is also known as default libraries. It means whenever you does not mention a library name, the SAS is going to assign the library's name as a work. So here you can see SAS has assigning here a work as my library name. Where we can see this work, you can go to the Explorer windows, which include the system files. You can see here they're displaying here a libraries. Double click on this, you can see they're going to displaying here some libraries name: SAS help, SAS user and work. These three libraries are given by the system. Other than this, all these libraries are our own libraries, the libraries which are developed or created by the user. So we are going to see how to create a library. To create a library, first of all you have to identify where you want to store your files. So I have created a folder with your name Vijay. Here I am going to store our SAS data set in a folder called tables. So in this folders we are going to keep our all data sets. So this is my folder locations where my data sets should be stored, or I can say our location for the libraries. Now we are going to create a library. So just see here in this list of active libraries sections, right click, go to new. When you give a new, this will pop up a new windows with the name of new libraries and will ask you the name of the library. Name of the libraries I am giving here as Vijay. While giving the library's name, you must give less than 8 characters or equal to 8 characters. As per the naming rules I given in your introduction sessions, you have to follow the same naming rule for the giving the libraries. Engine, leave it as default only. Then is giving a checkbox with the name of enable at a startup. So we check this box so that whenever we start a SAS, our library should be displayed. Now what is the path for this libraries? Click on this browse to go to our table folders. So I take here this table folders as my location for the libraries. So you can see here the giving your path as AF online class students SAS online class which are tables. Give here OK. Giving OK is going to create a folder with the name of Vijay. Now in case you want to create any data set in your libraries, the code should be written like the same code I am taking it here. So before the data set name, we give our library name first. Vijay dot or a decimal and then data set name. I given a Vijay dot first. I will select this code and then submit. I pressed F3 to execute this code. We check the log. Now you can see here the code is giving the same code, and here they have replaced the work library name with your Vijay library name. We check the folder as well, Vijay folder. Yes, it's displaying here the first. Now we go to our drive and check if the data set has been created or not. You can see here it displaying here a data set as first.sas7b dat. In the case of SAS softwares, you have to encounter two different type of file. One will be SAS dataset that has a file extension of .sas7bdat. .sas7bdat indicate your SAS7 binary data. Second type of files that we will going to encounter is your SAS program files, which have a file extension of your .sas, that is your .sas. This is nothing but your files that you are going or the code that you are writing here. You can save that code. Here we have written the two codes. I want to save these files. So to save this, you can click on this floppy symbol on the top of this editor window, you will get some buttons. In these buttons, the third button is a floppy symbol which is used for saving your programs. Click on this. I save these files in your name folder, so we will have a record of all the codes that we are writing. We give here as your class 1. Save. It's asking, do you want to replace the existing files? Already I have kept one file with the name of class 1. I will replace with these files, our new files here. So you can see at the bottoms, this editor windows is now displaying a different name, is now giving a class 1.sas. So while working on the SAS, we will encounter two different type of files. One is .7bdat, the other is your .sas. Yes. So you have seen here how to create a libraries. The same libraries you can create in your systems as well. Okay. Now here the data is a keywords for starting a data step. Vijay is a library name. First is your data set name. Then here again the x, y and z. This x, y, z are known as your assignment statements. No, this variables, yeah, these are the variables name only, but as in the terms of terminologies, we say this as a assignment statement. Okay. Before going for further, I just like to tell you how to give a comment. Comments are those statements which are not the part of your programs, or which are used for sharing the informations or the code which you do not want to execute. Like this assignment statement is not my part of your programs. We just giving here to just explain what is assignment statement. To give a comments, I given here let me check. Okay, I am not given here, I will give it here. Comments are those statements which are used to share information about the programs or part of programs which you do not want to execute. Yeah, can tell me. Assignment statement, like here I am giving any variables name equal to and then some values. Okay, I will elaborate more on this assignment statement. Before I just explaining here the what is comments. You can give the comments in two way. First is your / a star, then your text. Second is your just put a star, your text and semicolon. shortcut key will be control plus /. To remove your comments, shortcut key will be shift plus control plus /. So like here in this part I want to remove the comments, give control / shift control /, to give control /. Okay. Now what is this assignment statement? Assignment statement is used to create a variable or to manipulate a variable. Your syntax will be a variable name equal to, you can give here a values. In the case of assigning some values, I can give a expression. Examples: your x equal to 10. Here we are giving a variables and assigning a values. Or z equal to x plus y, that is an expressions. Okay. Now in case the variables coming second times, like here I give a one more variables x equal to 20. In this case they are not going to create a new values with the name of x, but they will give a same variables a different values. So while creating a new variable, they will check whether variables are coming first time or a second time. For the first time only they will create it, otherwise they will replace the previous values. Now you can see here I given this as a comment, so this part of code is not going to be executed. Okay, so here these three lines are known as your comments. Then come to a last keyword, that is called your run. Run keyword is used to tells us there is a end of data step. Means it just completes the part of the writing the codes. So we complete here writing our programs, that is end, or you can say run. Now come to the second components of your SAS, that is your proc step. This was your data step. There any questions that you have in this part, data step? Your proc step will always start with a keyword called proc, P-R-O-C, which is a short form of a procedure. Proc followed by a procedure name. Here I am going to use a procedure called print. Print procedure is used to print the results of a data set or a content of a data set. Proc print, then data. Data equal to, for which data set you want to print the content, give the data set name. While giving the data set name, you first give the library name, then a dot, and then data set name. So I am going to give here Vijay, the library name, dot first. data set name, then semicolon. Yeah, yeah, you can give for the just file name also, you can go for the work dot file name, both will work. Like here we have created a data set 1 in the work libraries. For the 1 you can just simply give the proc print data equal to 1 or proc print data equal to work dot 1, both will work. Now just select this one and submit this. When you are submitting this, you are getting some results in the output window. The result, that is your content of your data set. Here is giving here a 4 columns and 2 row. The first column is obvious, it is come by default, which indicates the observation number. While counting the number of variables, we exclude this first column. Our variables here are x, y and z, and we have only one observation. Check the log. Log also is giving here what steps SAS has taken. It's giving here that writing HTML body file SAS html.htm. For this procedure they are creating two results, one in the output window, other in the result viewer window, which is nothing but your HTML results they are generating. This result by default does not come. To display this result, you can go to tools, options. Here we have the preferences. Go to this preferences. Under the preferences we have a result tab. Here is giving here how you want to generate the results. Create listing for the output window, create HTML for the result viewer window. So by default this will be unchecked. To see the HTML results, you have to check this box. So at a times you can generate two reports with the one code. Next is giving us there were one observations read from the data set vijay.first is reading one observations from the data set vijay.first. So as a part of your SAS we have the two steps, one to create the data set, second to print the content of the data set. For printing the content of data set, we are going to write the proc print. Now next come to your variables. We are discussing here about the variables. Here we are creating three variables, x, y and z. In SAS we have two type of variables. These variables are known as data types also. So in SAS we have the two type of data types. One is numeric, other is your character. Under numeric data types you can read 0 to 9, plus or minus, decimal and exponential. The default size for numeric variables are 8 bytes, which indicates 14 to 15 digits. The missing value for numeric variables will be represented by your dot. In the case of character variables, you can read 0 to 9, capital A to capital Z, a small a to small z, and all type of special characters. In the short, you can say you can read all type of values under the characters. The default size for character variables is 8 bytes, which indicates 8 characters only. The missing values for the characters will be represented by your space, a blank space. Now here If you see in our programs, we are creating here only numeric variables x, y and z. All these three are the numeric variables. In case you want to create a character variables, just show you how to create a character variables. For the character variables, you have to give the values in a double or in single quote, any one you can use. So here I given the base as class 1, I given here special character as a space, I given here text values, and I given here number as well. I change here the data set name, so the previous data set should not be changed. If you do not change the data set name in the data step, it will override the previous data set with the new values. Here I am giving these keywords all in the uppercase, but you can give uppercase, lowercase in any case, because SAS is not a case sensitive. Even the variables name, the data set name or the library's name you can give in uppercase, lowercase in any case. There is no issue with that. So you can see here the name they are taking here the base as class 1. So in this way you can create a numeric variables and the character variables by assigning a value to the variables. So this was the basic of your SAS. Now we are going to start the first phase of your SAS, that is your extraction. Under extraction phase, we are going to learn how to extract the data into the SAS. Under extraction phase, the first is directly reading the data into SAS. And in this case, when we have a hard copy of your data, you have to enter the data manually into the SAS. For this, we are going to follow a method called view table method. How to do that? Just see. For this, directly reading the data into SAS, we go to Tools, Table Editor. When you go for Tools, Table Editor will pop up a windows which looks similar to your Excel file. Here ABCD are nothing but your variables name, 1, 2, 3, 4 are your observations. Now suppose we have a variables like name, age and marks. We click on this A and change it to name. For the B, we go for a age. For C, we go for a marks. We have assigned the variables name on the ABC. Now we are going to enter some values here. For the name, we are going to give here as David. Age 28. Marks we give here 90. I'm just giving here some random values. Okay. Once the values are entered, you can save these values by clicking on this once again the floppy symbol. When you click on the save, will ask you in which libraries you want to save it. I want to save in the Vijay library, so select the Vijay. The member name is nothing but your data set name. We give the member name as a third, because this is a third data set we are creating today. And then click on this floppies, your save button to save the values. Now this data is saved. You can close this file. Now to see the result, which are values which are stored in the third data set, you can give here proc print Vijay dot third. Select this and submit this by pressing F3. You can see it is giving all the variables name, the name which we given there, and all the observations which we have given there. So the first method is you have to enter the data directly into the SAS. You can go for the view table method. Second method is your reading raw data files. The raw data files includes your text file or the files which have a extension of .txt, .dat, .fat or .csv. This type of files you can read under this raw data files. Under this we have a two statement that we have to write here for raw data files. The first one is your in file statement, second is your input statement. In file is used to specify the location and file name with file extension. This is just to give the information about the files which you want to read. Examples, I just give you how to give this in file. Give here in file and then in a single quote or double quote you can mention which files you want to read. Now suppose our files are stored in the Vijay folders under a new folders called documents. We'll take these locations and specify your file names which you want to read. And also have to give the file extensions as well. Next come to your input. Input is used to specify the variables name and instructions to read it. Examples: input, name, age, marks, and then semicolon. Now here we have to differentiate a numeric variables and a character variables. So to differentiate between numeric and characters. For the character variables, we put a dollar symbol after their name. For numeric, no need to put any symbols. So by default, SAS take all the variables as a numeric variables. If you do not give the dollar symbols, be taken as a numeric. Now we try to read this file. I want to create one text file here in our documents folder. We give this as a 1. Just give some values here. Just taking a simple data only, not taking the complex. The complex part we are going to do later on once we understand how SAS work. No, in that case you have to give some different rule to read that. Okay, like in place of a space you are giving some other characters like comma or hyphen, then you have to give a different code. Okay, yes, one character should be there to differentiate the values. Okay, so just I am taking for the few 2-3 examples, to just a simple examples. Later on we can go for the complex examples and all. Okay, I have taken these values and close this. The file name that I want to read here is 1.txt. Okay, so now we are going to write the code here. To create the data set, we have to give the data keyword, then specify the library name dot, then data set name. I just give here 4 semicolon, then we give the in file, will tells us where the file is there. I specify the file's name and locations in a single quote. Already given here one locations here, we take this same location. Here our file name is 1, we give here 1. Then input, we take here name is a character, so we put here dollar symbol. While putting the dollar symbols, you can give one space or you can give continuous, both will work. Then age and then marks are given, semicolon, then run. Next here, to see the result we give the proc print, whether it's reading the data or not. Proc print data equal to Vijay.4. So here we given the both components of SAS, data step and the proc step both. Data step we are giving here the in file input, proc step to just see the results. Select the code and then submit. You can see here whatever values we have given there, all the values they are coming as it is. There is no change in that part. Now come to your third type of data reading, that is reading data directly through the code. Or suppose we give giving data directly through the code. You can specify the data inside the code itself. In the previous case, we are specifying the data in the text file or any raw data files. In the third case, you can specify your data in the code itself. For this method, we need to use a keyword called cards or data lines. This is used to give the data that you want to read. How to use this one? We see the examples based on this. We give the data Vijay.5. In place of your referring a text files, we refer here a keyword called cards. You can use cards or data lines. Both keywords will work in a similar manner. Okay, you can use any one. And then we give here cards and we specify the values which you want to read. I want to read here Rakesh, male, (28), Roja, female, 28, Roshan, male, 28 are given here 3 values. Now before the cards we have to specify the variable's name as well. Variable's name will be given with the help of input statement. So first in file cards, then input and then cards. Here we have the name and then we have their sex and then we have their age. Now the values are given here between your cards and then semicolon. This is known as card block. And semicolon that you are giving here should always in a new line, not in the same lines as your last data is given. Then give here run. Now the third method is generally used for your practice purpose, not be used in the project cases, because in the case of projects the data will be huge. We cannot give all the data in the program itself. So for the practice purpose of understanding some concept, you are going to use these card methods. Okay. The fourth one is called reading other software data. That include reading Excel file, or reading SPSS file, reading Lotus file, or older version of SAS. All these files you can read under this other software data. Under this we have 2-3 methods. First one is your import wizard. Second one is your proc import. Third one is DDE, that is dynamic data exchange. Yeah, the .csv will work, but for .xls or .xlsx, for this we have to go for, that is they have developed the software like this only, because in the case of Excel they used to maintain the some your column breadth or column positions for the values, so the values are having a different format. This DDE method is used only for Excel. This fourth method we are going to discuss when I am going to start your procedure. So this fourth point will be discussed during procedure class. When you are going to start the procedure, I am going to spend this fourth point. Fifth one is your directly using other software data. Means we are not going to read the data, we are just going to use their data. In that case, you can directly use the Excel file as well without reading that, or any database files. Like your Access, your SQL Server, your Teradata, all you can use it here. For this method we have once again 2-3 methods. First one is your using libname. Second is using ProcSQL. This will come under your advanced SAS programming, the ProcSQL one. Using libnames, I will tell you how to do that. Okay, so these two methods are there for this other software data. This will be also going to discuss during the procedure class. So the 4th and 5th we are going to discuss in the procedure class. That will take time, 2-3 classes we are going to discuss this one. Okay. Now you can see here, based on this data that is getting here, SAS has divided the 4 broad categories for this data. These categories are known as input style. We have a 4 input styles to read the data based on the data that we are receiving. The first one is your input style. That is the most simple and easiest way to read the data. Here the data will be given by separating values with the help of a space. So a space will be used for the separating the values. Second will be your column input style, when data will be given in the column form, that is each value will start from a specific column position. That is called your starting from a fixed column position, that is called column form. The third one is your formatted input style. Under this, the data will be given in a non-standard format. Means for the numeric, data will include a comma or a dollar symbols or a percentage symbols. Or reading a date values will come under a formatted input style. The fourth one is your mixed input style. The data will be a mixture of all other input styles. It contain complex data. It will be a mixture of list and the column or the formatted, or a mixture of list, column and the formatted. So all the complex data will come under a mixed input style. Now we are going to see all these input styles one after another, one by one. Input styles. List input style. Under this, data will be separated with the help of a space. Data bj dot style 1. I am using here the third method to read the data, because here we have the privilege of seeing the data and the code at the same times. So it is good to understand the programs. I take here some variables like registration number, name, then your pin code. I am not specify anything here, just given the variables name. Now based on our values, we are going to decide the variables is a numeric or a character. Take here R101. We give here Pawan 560093. R102 Mohan 560037. R103 Raj 560065. Five six 0012. Now can you tell me what to give in the input for these values? For the registration number, it is numeric or character? Yeah. So this variables, registration number variables, as a variables we take this is a numeric or character. In case you, yeah, yes, but if we take this numeric, we are not able to read a characters values like R. The first value is R, is the character values. Under numeric we cannot read a character values, so we need to put dollar. Name, that is of course dollar. Pin code we have an options like you can take as a numeric also or a character also, both will work. So here for time, yeah, yes, yes. No, hyphen we are giving here, like I putting here 56 hyphen 93. So as a hyphen is a special characters that will come under a characters, not under a numeric. Have to give the pin code as a dollar. But like, yeah, if everything is digit only, we can take the pin code as a character also, as a numeric also. Now it's depend upon the how you going to take the pin code in the further processing. If there is no arithmetical clauses involved for the pin code, then no need to take as a numeric and make it as a character as well. But in case you are going to perform some arithmetic operations or numerical operations, then take the pin code as a numeric. Okay, so here we are taking here as a numeric only. Yeah, star 1. In case you give a incomplete name, or suppose with that name there is no data set present, you are going to receive an errors in the log window. We just see that what errors that is displaying. I submitted this code, I am not getting any results. We check the log window. Now in the log window we are getting here errors which is coming in the red color, which indicates file vijay.style.data does not exist. Means with these file names the data set is not present. So I have to give here 1. We just select the proc print and submit. You can see the result is coming in a normal way. Now suppose we have a multiple space, I can say unequal spaces that were given to us. So will this SAS will read this one? No. So here I am giving the unusual number of spaces. Yeah. So whether this SAS will take care of this space or not. Okay, I given the unequal spaces positions here and given data set name as 1A. Now will this SAS will take care of this extra space that we given or not? So SAS will going to take care of all these extra spaces that we given in the values. As a result, you will get no extra space in the output. As a normal, they are going to take all the values only, they are not going to take any other values. Okay? Yes. Yeah, okay. Now in case we have some missing values in this data. Yeah, suppose I'll just take it here 1B. Okay, I take here some missing values, like in the case of second observations I do not know the pin number, so all the missing values will put as a dot. In the third observations I do not know the name, so I put here dot. If you leave it blank, they are going to take the next values as your observations. Okay, so irrespective of your numeric or character variables, I given the dot for all missing values. So here I just give a comment as well, put dot for all missing values. Now when you see in the output window, you can find that for numeric variables they will take the dot as a missing values, for the character variables they take the dot as a blank. Okay, you can see the name. Just a minute, I have to put the power in this. Yeah, hello. So for all missing values we are putting here the dot. Now as I said here to you, if the variables is numeric, will display the missing value by dot. If variables is character, they will display the missing values by your blank. This is how your SAS work. Okay, we stop here itself. Next class we are going to see your column input style. Okay, because column input style is going to take another 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, because it's big topic, that part. So as a today assignment, I just not giving any writing programs. Just go with the class notes. It's these files, and I'm going to give one PDF files and some PPT. Just go with that. In case any questions, we discuss it tomorrow. And then we proceed with the new topics. Yeah, okay then. Yeah, okay, just will share one Google Drive file as well for this video that we have prepared. Okay. Yeah, okay then. Yeah, bye.